What's up, good people? Welcome to the New York Set Podcast. I'm your host, Amon Focus. Today's a very cool episode to me because this is the episode that I wanted to make when I first started the podcast, but I couldn't. What makes this episode so different is that I'm now able to walk and talk with my guests, where I can clip a small mic to their shirt and clip a mic to my shirt, and it's wireless, and the devices record our audio, and then I can sync it back in the studio. But that ability to not see the microphones and just walk and record the conversation, for me, it changed everything. In this episode, you get to ear hustle on a conversation as if you were on the train and someone was just right next to you having a really compelling conversation. I don't know if you've ever had that happen. I have. If you talking loud, I'm ear hustling. If you telling a good conversation, if you telling the story and I'm on the bus, I'm gonna pause my music and I'm gonna listen to the story from a stranger. Like, I'm never gonna see you again. What does it matter? Yes, I should mind my business, and I am minding my business, but if you talking loud enough for me to hear, I'm gonna listen. And so that's what this is gonna feel like. A walk in the park with Stay Sane. New York Set is still rocking. The episodes will still coming, whether they come next week, 2 days from now, or 2 months from now. I do them when I can. I love y'all. I appreciate your support. Enjoy the show.
You're listening to the New York Set Podcast.
Fear not, my friends. This will be my greatest performance.
Give it to me.
Here we go. We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
They get me every time, yo.
Who's that?
The telemarketers. They call me, I have a missed call, and then it look like a regular number. I call them back. I'm like, hey. Nope, God.
But you got 10 minutes to talk about Jesus Christ?
Like, oh my God. This lady, so I wonder how they got my number or whatever. They called me, and she's speaking Arabic.
Wow.
And, you know, like, I understand, like, initiating conversation. And then she asked me do I speak Arabic, and I was like, no. So then she changed it into English and was like, oh, we're calling people that speak Arabic, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I don't fucking really speak like Arabic like that. She's like, what'd she say? Something about, like, do you believe your body dies, like, when you die or something? And something weird, right? And then she's like, and I was like, oh. I was like, yeah. She's like, I was like, yeah, it does. She was like, all right, well, we're going to send you this information that says that it doesn't, if it's in the Bible or whatever. And I was like, nah, yo. I was like, hold on, you're trying to tell me, you're trying to tell me your physical body doesn't die. I was like, spiritually, yes, I get it. But you're trying to tell me your physical body is not going to check out when you die.
Wow.
And it says that in the Bible. She's like, yeah. I said, no.
So, like, it doesn't decompose? You don't burn it? Like, you don't?
Nothing. I said, seriously. She's like, yeah, I'll show you. It's in the Bible. I said, no.
So you're having, like, this metaphysical conversation with a telemarketer?
Yeah, I don't know who she was.
He like, anybody can get it. We can get deep right now, lady.
Right now,
you want to talk to me about?
Yeah, you want to go? We go. Let's go. You want to get a coffee?
Yeah, let's get some coffee. Let's get
do
hyped.
that. Thanks. What's happening?
I ain't been in this Starbucks in so long.
It's just
The memories.
The memories. Yeah. I haven't had a chai tea latte in a while.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
You more of a tea person?
Yeah, versus coffee. Yeah. I can't do. Not I can't do. I don't. I like the way coffee tastes.
Yep.
But it's never. Oh, I'm down. I need a boost. Let me get some coffee.
Gotcha.
It's never that. It's just like, cool. We're having coffee because we just ate.
Right.
I have a little bit.
Yeah.
I like the way espresso tastes.
Yeah. But you're like your morning routine. You would drink a tea, or you don't even drink none of that.
Drink some water.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just drink some water to get it moving. Yeah. I don't like hot things in the morning, though. Not hot things. I don't like hot beverages in the morning.
Okay.
Like, naturally. Like, I'll have it if it's, you know.
I keep it, back in the days, I would just eat all kinds of fantastic breakfasts.
Yeah.
Now I'm 44, so it's like a banana and a black coffee, and I'm good.
You're like, okay.
Like, maybe some oatmeal.
Yeah.
But like every now and again, like if family's in town, they're like, we're gonna cook this and that. And I'm like, I'm with it. I don't. But like my daily is it's like 3 items. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I dig it. Yeah, I go off and on. It's either like I don't have breakfast and I'll do like a great lunch, or I'm cooking breakfast. I'm doing the bacon, the eggs. I'm cooking it.
Are you a cook?
Yeah.
What do you like? What do you cook?
I just like breakfast foods and Italian foods and
you
like
cook Italian?
Yeah.
Like, do you make your own sauces and all that?
Yeah, but that sauces are really easy though. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot
People
of sauces
who cook say stuff like that. People like me who don't cook, I'm like, sauces are really easy. Is that right? Okay. Is that what they say these days? Because I've tried to make sauce before, and it's just like.
It didn't work out.
My brother gave me a recipe where you take some fresh tomatoes. Like he gave me this whole like itemized thing, and I did that. But if I didn't follow the instructions to the T, like if I tried to freestyle, I would ruin it. Yeah. But you don't need none of that. You just go off the top of your intuition. Yeah.
Like what are my taste buds? Like what are my taste buds doing right now?
Okay.
And I just start making shit like that. Like there's this. It's an African dish actually. It's just street meat really, shukiao, but they have. Like they cooking on this grill outside that they obviously don't properly clean every day.
Right.
But they've been cooking on it for how many months?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like mad flavor.
Okay. What is that, like a cast iron pan?
It's like a cast iron. So I have a cast iron skillet in the house, and I've been shukiaoing it up with this. They use a Maggi cube and like some other shit, and then you add your other stuff. Well, I've been doing. I've been throwing. Not the creamy Caesar dressing, but the oil Caesar dressing.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, yo, this shit.
Wow.
I have to cook it for you guys. It's shukiao, and I just do it like I just cook the chicken, and then what I usually do. Usually eat with like acheke, which is like a grain. But I'll do like a rice. I feel like I think maybe last time I did it was with acheke. I can't remember. But I wanted to do it with rice the other day, so it's like it's messing me up because I'm like.
Do you use like a specific like balsamic rice or balsamic or you usually regular rice?
Just the jasmine.
Oh, jasmine rice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the jasmine rice. Yeah. Rice, man, that's good. I'm a horrible rice cooker.
Yeah. I do anything that has to do with like a camera, a microphone, or a computer.
You're good.
I'm the man. I live there.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like if you say, yo. So, the tire got a flat. I'm like, the tire got a flat?
The tire, dude.
Like, damn, that's crazy. What are we going to do? Oh, shit. Does that make me less of a man? Because I'm looking at this shit like, how are we going to cut up this body? Like, how are we going to handle this flat?
Yeah.
But
the tire, oh, shit.
Yeah, I mean.
Start looking around.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, I've always been in situations where it's just somehow it worked out when I got a flat or whatever. But like, Lord, man.
Yeah.
When it anything when it comes to the kitchen or mechanics or even sports, I'm just like an alien. I'll watch it. Like if it's on, I'll watch it. But if I'm not really gonna remember to check for it. Somebody's what are the Mets or the Yankees? I'm like,
absolutely not.
Yeah,
absolutely not. And it's funny because RG, I pointed out years ago because RG he obviously played for the Packers, and he was telling us he was still playing, and he was like, something. He's telling us about somebody, and we were just like, what? Who cares? It's like, yo, G, we watch football because you play, bro.
That's it.
That's it. Like, yo, that is it. Yo, do not. Who and what?
Yeah.
Nah, man. Are these friends of yours? Are you going to bring them? Are we going to go eat together?
Yeah.
So then I'll know who they are.
Right. But other than that, it's like,
what?
Yeah, I grew up with Skip to Malou. And so, like, whatever team he's on, or at the time when he was playing, I'll be like, that's who I'm rocking with.
That's who you
because we grew up together.
But you do remember, though, because back in the day, though, you probably still knew, you knew a lot of basketball players just of how they advertised it.
Yes, because they were in cartoons. They were, in the Olympics or whatever.
Yeah,
we had,
Olympics,
Michael Jordan and all those other, huge
you remember
names.
The Larry Johnsons, Reggie Mills, all
Larry
these guys.
Johnson, all those, even the sneaker commercials were dope.
Oh, the Penny Hardaway
dudes? Yeah, with the the puppet.
Yeah,
the little penny.
little
Yeah,
penny.
so like, the advertisement. Yeah,
the advertisement.
We were, like you said,
great.
we were marketed to like crazy.
What? And everybody had a jersey.
Yep.
So, you know, but yeah, we were fucking...
We were fully immersed. I was watching some documentary and they were saying like all childhood cartoons of...
How you doing, mate? Man, I have a soy chai latte, no water, no foam, extra chai.
You don't have any more soy milk.
What? Crazy. I came over here literally for that. It's probably going to taste weird with anything else.
Probably.
It's like fucking... All right, well, listen, you make it. If I don't like it, I give it back.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's not a possibility.
I'm not the one that...
Yeah, okay.
It's not my thing.
You know what you want?
Nah, you good. If you good, I'm good. You give it
I'm going to try something.
Okay, well,
But
I'll have
I'm
a
trying to think. Yeah.
black sweetened iced coffee with vanilla.
Any milk?
No, this small or tall. Yeah, huh?
What's your name?
Amon, Amon. Uh-huh.
I'm paying the difference separately.
We pay together. Do you have oat milk?
Yeah, we have oat.
All right. Let's do that with oat milk.
So what you say? You said a chai tea latte?
Yeah, oat, yeah.
Milk chai tea latte?
Yeah, no water, no foam, extra chai. And some vanilla. Vanilla, please.
A grande chai tea latte, extra chai, vanilla, oat milk, no water, no foam.
Yes,
How are you paying cash?
I would like to.
$12.52.
Yes. Okie dokie. Cross our fingers.
Hope it bangs, Joe.
Yeah, I guess it should be okay. It's gonna be different, but it should be okay.
I mean, that was a real detailed order. You were like, no water, no phone, no...
Yeah.
Definitely not judging you. Just
Yeah.
curious of how you got to that.
My mom, man.
Okay.
I mean, years of water and chai. So
Okay.
this tea that we get though, it's actually back in the day growing up, we used to go to like Islamic lands, and there was this lady. Can't remember her name, but every time we would show up, she would give us this canister of milk tea, and this is the closest thing. Well, the soy chai was the closest thing to that, to tasting like that.
Okay.
And my mom had found it out like years and years ago when whatever Starbucks started. And she was like, oh, Sain, here, try this. And I was like, it's kind of close. It's a little, it's not as spicy and not as milky. Like, it's close to us, very, very close.
Gotcha.
And I was like, oh, this is amazing. And ever since then, it's just been on it.
So is it like a memory thing that takes you back to that time in those Islamic lands?
Yeah.
So it's more than just you drinking it, like you like it, but you're also like having a nostalgic moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, I
do that with St. Ives.
Yeah, St. Ives?
No, I'm joking.
I was thinking like he's on the block, man.
Yeah, I gotta take it back to 93. No, I love that. It's not good for you, but like every now and again, if I have like a Snapple iced tea, it takes me back to a specific summer. I used to kick it with my brother Chill Will. And we used to walk the block, and we would always get a Snapple iced tea. So whenever I feel like it, I'll crack one open, and I'll be like, yo, shout out to Chill. You know what I'm saying? Because for that summer, that's all we did was peach ice, and then never again. Like right now, it give me heartburn, but like, you know, they made Snapple back then. That makes they made it different. Yo, it's going down outside.
What you mean?
This is like wild noisy. I think the cool thing about this is that I do this thing where it's called Sounds of New York. So I think this is gonna be a blend of sounds of New York and conversation.
Wow.
Because I wanted, like, we're just kicking it.
Yeah.
But we're getting to, like, we're taking a walk with Sain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're sharing things that I would never know to ask you. Because we got some chai tea, and the chai tea inspired the story.
That story would have never came up to
exactly. Like, I'd have been like, if I would have brought that up, I'm like, tell me about the lady that you'd been like, I gotta go. This is getting creepy.
Yeah. Nah.
I don't know. Don't do that to me.
No.
Every now and again, I have a guest on the show, and I'll do like some super deep dive digging, and they'll mention something really small from like 20 years ago. And I'd be like, tell me, and they'd be like, how the hell? Because they forgot they said that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just like creep the guest out with that.
Great.
But
That's great. That's great.
Amon, thank you.
That is super black. What is this? Oh, you got vanilla in there, right?
Yeah, just black with vanilla, sweetened. Yeah. This is like a 50-50. Like sometimes it bangs and sometimes it's atrocious. Just depends on like how they brewed it.
Yeah.
But the last one I had was atrocious, so I think this one's gonna be good.
There you go. That's what you got bank on.
Yeah.
I did a cafe in LA, and we had this is the first time I started getting into like coffee because we had Ethiopian coffee beans, and I was just
those
like,
are the best. Like single origin Ethiopian.
Yo.
One time there was a spot on 9th Avenue. I walked into there. I said, I want the strongest coffee you got, because I was like working on some projects. She was like, you want a strong, taste-wise, the caffeine. And I said, caffeine. And she was like, go for the Ethiopian Harara.
Yeah.
And so I got that, and I heard my ears pop. Like, it was so strong. And so, like, even now, like, if I'm feeling like I want to do something, the Harara get you right there. Ethiopian beans are the best. I don't know. She kind of like whispered it. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's good.
She looked at you like, I know you.
Yeah. That's my first cousin. We're not talking right now. No, I'm joking. Oh, shit. So, yo, what I'm thinking is we should walk into Central Park.
Starbucks right there, too.
Like, walk to the fountain and then just walk back and we'll have it.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, where's the fountain?
The
it's
Bethesda,
in there?
Like the Bethesda fountain. We don't even gotta walk all the way. You can walk to the amphitheater and come right back.
Okay.
But the fountain's right there.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a great walk. It's super nice out right now.
Yeah.
So yo, when I was downstairs, I told Renee what I was about to do. I said,
one penny out, please.
I have $1.
Thank you, my brother.
Yep.
So I go, I've known Sain about, I don't know, a decade. And guess what I know about him? He's like, what? I said nothing.
Nothing.
I don't know nothing about Sain. That's my man, though. That's my people's. I have no, I mean, like, I know certain small things. Oh, shit. Thank you very much, sincerely. Wow. I would never notice that fell.
Yeah.
I don't, you're pretty tight-lipped. Not that you're mysterious. You just don't lead with some people. You know how you go to events and they're like, so what do you do? Or who are you? And where? I don't lead with that shit either. But like, somehow it gets out that I do whatever it is that I do. But like I don't know. I just know you're sane.
Yeah. Just kind of out here.
Yeah.
And I think part of that also is I haven't always known what I wanted to do.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean? I always did like a lot of little shit trying to figure out what I wanted to do. So it's like, all right, well, if you asked me what I do, I'd be like,
you be sure?
I don't know. Like, what do you like the most? What do you like the best? Because I do that as well.
I probably do that.
So it's like, some of that, some of this, some of this. So it's one of those things. But then it also, like you said, like it's not also that leading thing. And I think that's also like a different caliber of the people that are here in New York.
Right.
Like, like, yo, you just vibe off of you just vibe.
Yeah.
Versus the people like, oh, so what do you do? Because it's like they're trying to gauge how much they should fuck with you.
Yeah. Oh, that happens here a lot.
Like,
yo,
so what do you do?
I was in an event not too long ago. This guy literally asked me about New York Said. I wasn't even 5 seconds into telling him, and he just kind of like chucked his eyes to the left like, I'm not interested anymore. And I'm thinking, I'm like, why did you ask me? Like, you should have not, like, I wouldn't, like, why?
I was okay with you not asking me.
Why ask me an open-ended question and then tune out when I answer the question?
Yeah.
But I stayed there, and he stayed there. But as we began, like, continuing the event or whatever, as more and more people, like, rolled in, I knew pretty much 90% of the people, so he was kind of like, whoops.
Oh, yeah, fuck that up. Yeah.
But it's just kind of like, some people can just be a little too industry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'm industry at all. Like, I like people. Like, but at the same time, there's definitely boundaries, but I'm not, like, disrespectful with it in the sense of, like, okay, Sain, what can Sain do for me by knowing Sain? Like, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
That's not how I was raised. And I feel like the majority of the circles we roll in, that's not the energy at all.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You know, when I saw GB the other day, I said, the first thing, I didn't say, how you doing? But I was like, what's inspiring you? Like, what's moving you? Like, what are you listening to? Like, what books are you reading or whatever? And then he began to tell me about what he's working on and I was like, damn, that's crazy. You know, like that space is incredible.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think we're more conversational than we are like walking around with an agenda. Everybody's some kind of like, what can you do for me?
Yeah. I definitely think everybody's got that agenda kind of thing. Not everybody.
Not everybody.
But there's a lot of them.
But when you're in certain events or circles, that's what happens. But I guess they call it networking, but that's not how. Yeah. I prefer not to network.
I don't want to network like that, for real.
No.
Because it's like, I'm also, I don't know, like, I could be a manipulative person, and it's like, cool, all right.
You said so you could be manipulated or manipulative?
No,
Manipulative?
Manipulative. Yeah, whatever. Because it's like, all right, I know how, and this is from talking to girls.
Right.
It's like, yo, I know I want to get to the question of, can we have sex or can I kiss you, right? So, and I'm not going to just jump right in at your neck. I'm going to come around this way and have these and bring these things up, and then we're going to say something and like, oh my God, that's like us having sex. You know what I mean? And it's like, this is the thought I started the conversation with, but I asked you 4 or 5 different other questions to get you to have a response for me to say.
If you needed to be that person, you could be that person, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
And it's like,
have you been that person?
Have I been that person?
Yeah, manipulative?
Yeah,
I think that's a loaded question. I think everybody in some capacity.
No, for
even
sure.
if you're trying to ask your mother for a Nintendo cartridge.
Right. How am I going to ask her for this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the ladies thing, because you just jumped. You came in hot with that one. Have you always been like, are you a ladies' man, or have you been a ladies' man? Or like growing up, what kind of kid were you?
I think it was like, not the shy kid. I was always outgoing. I was always comfortable with it in me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I guess not 100%, because who is?
Right.
You know, so I'm not good at taking compliments. So, and all the girls, oh, your eyes are so good. And I'm like, cool.
Right. Where do we go from here?
What do I do with that, right?
Like, are you like, want to have sex?
Yeah, like, you know, so.
Oh, Lord.
And like, I don't think it's a hopeless romantic, but I'm the monogamous guy. So it's like, I have this feeling, like if I see a girl and it's like, oh, I'm into that girl, like, and I have this feeling about her or whatever, this, what is it, like, just an
infatuation?
Excitement. Yeah, an infatuation.
Okay,
and I'm just like, or just an excitement kind of like lust and.
But have you been the guy who's like, you like what you see and you say, hey, how you doing? My name is Sain, or you just like,
Yeah. No, if I like what I see, I'm gonna say what's up. I'm gonna high five something.
So like if you're on the train and you saw a woman that you were interested in, you'd walk over.
On the train's kind of creepy.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't touch it.
You ever heard that story of like,
and stuff?
I know just because we grew up here, so it's like, I've been on the train and I see a woman that I've liked in the past and I'm like, I fell in love with her. We got married all in my head and then she got up at the next stop and I was like, wow, that could have been, that could have been something. Yeah. But I'll never see her again.
Never see her
Because I'm not going over there. Like you said, it's kind of creepy to be like, hey, how you doing? I'm on Aquarius. And yourself?
Facts, yo. But it's always like you have that moment, right? And that long-lasting moment that lasted forever.
Yep.
And then just imagine if you did see her again somewhere. Like, are you going to tell her, like, yo, I fell in love with you on this train one day?
Wow. You know what? I got a moment. I was in Madison Park, and I was, like, filming some kind of time-lapse. Mm-hmm. And this woman walked across my camera. Like, she was, like, in the distance, but she was, like, strutting. She had on all white, but her walk was so elegant. And I was just like, do I walk over? Do I leave my tripod? And she just left the park, and I was like, I just saw God walk out the park. It felt like if I would have saw her, I'd have been like, oh my God, I just, like, wow.
Yeah.
Brought up a memory that I forgot that I had.
Great times, good times, great times.
But what kind of kid were you? I mean, like, aside from that, were you outgoing? Were you creative? What were you into?
Yeah, I was always outgoing. It's into sports and just running around doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing.
Like what? What's like the most amount of trouble you got into?
Oh, I've been to jail plenty of times.
Huh?
What?
Jesus.
Guys been like 5 years in jail.
They say still waters run deep. Who knew? What?
Most amount of trouble I've been into.
What did you do 5 years for? For real?
Yeah, man. I used to sell drugs and the whole nine and got caught up in the system, the whole probation.
Was that out here or out there?
Philadelphia.
In Philly?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's something people don't understand about Philly that happens here in New York? That's not LA. That's not Chicago. That's not LA. Like, what makes Philly Philly?
That's a good question. I just feel like Philly is the entire whole of Philly is kind of like is gangster. You know, and it's a little spread out. There's no real gangs or anything like that. Like everybody has their block and they rep their block, but it's like the entire Philly. Even the little white sections.
Yeah.
These white boys is like, it's like, yo, don't get it twisted. Like I tell people, I'm like, yo, white dudes from Philly don't think they're chumps. That's just me, and it's not just because I'm from Philly. It's just like, yo, these white boys they out here, they down and dirty, and they fight. Like we used to always just love street fighting.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's.
They say like the Broad Street Bully, like Beanie Siegel. Was that like more about the street fighting thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you know, you run up on somebody, like people get shot, but that's after. You know, that's robberies and things like that, and then like a long line of disrespect, and then this nigga's fed up.
Yeah.
So next time you try him, he shoots somebody, shit like that. You know, it's not like, it's not, what do you call it? It's not weird for you to be on the block and niggas run up on you and be like, yo, whatever, and beat you up, and then go about their day, and you still come to the block the next day. And it's like, you know, but like, y'all niggas got me yesterday, we can fight again today.
After a number of those, it's like, okay, we did the fisticuff thing, now I gotta clap somebody.
Now I gotta shoot you.
Okay,
like, why y'all keep picking on me kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like the whole Broad Street bully kind of thing. It's like, yo, that nigga's just out there bullying people.
So,
like,
is it true that like dudes from Philly, they grow their beards from when they're like a fetus? Like how? Like talk to me, like when did you start growing your beard? Because I mean, like the Philly thing, like that's a staple of Philly. Right? Like beard is like a Philly staple. So like, can you break that down? Because
it's an Islamic thing.
Okay.
You know, and it's I think there's just something in the water.
Yeah.
That everybody's just growing beards like mad easy.
You
know, but
because I've never seen a dude from Philly whose beard didn't connect. Like it's always full.
Yeah.
And like
or you have some that have the big beards, but then they have like this space here.
Okay.
Yeah, you have that. You know, what I mean? But it looks kind of like a style. Yeah, I would love to take a ride with him on this thing.
On that?
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's what he said. Yes,
I thought you were serious for a second. I was like,
he said on.
Yo, are we dead ass about to get on the fucking the bike thing? What do they call that? The horses and all that? That would be weird.
Yeah, right? Mad weird. Philly guys. But so a lot of the Muslims grow their beards, right?
Yes.
But now these are the guys that were also on the corners. So these are the block boys. So white t-shirts and beards started becoming a fad.
Okay.
You know, and people are just, they jumped into the fad. So now you got everybody in Philly with a beard, even if they're not Muslim.
Okay.
And whatnot. But I think there's something in the water because I'm like, yo, this is definitely a lot of people growing beards.
Yeah.
Easy.
So what was the allure for you growing up to even get caught up in that lifestyle? Or was it just kind of like that was the neighborhood and that's what it was?
Yeah, there was no allure. I was outside.
Okay.
I wasn't going to just be outside. And one of my things is always, too, it's like, cool, I'm outside, I'm with a group of friends. It's like, cool, if we're going to do something, then, I feel like I either jump to do it first, or it's like, yo, I know how we could do that better. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to do it like this. We could do this better. Like, I started selling weed in Philly because, and this was after I left California. And I was in a group home in Juvenile Hall in California. And I had left because I was 18. So they was like, you know what I mean? You can go, whatever. Yeah. And if you leave the state, you don't have no probation or nothing. And I was like, cool, because my mom and them already left.
Got you.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go to Philly. So anywho.
Wait, so you grew up in Cali?
I went to high school in California.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And then you started rocking in Philly?
And then I was getting in trouble in Philly.
Okay.
But so this little group of friends, they would stand outside of the store and they were asking people for change or whatever to get enough change to go buy a nick or dime or whatever.
Yeah.
And then smoke amongst like 6-7 people.
Yes, I do remember those days. Yeah, I do.
Yes, that
I do
rings
remember
a
those
bell,
days.
yes.
I remember being broke and being like, you got 2, I got 3 or whatever.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what? I'm going to go for self on this one. I bought a tray bag.
I bought a tray bag, bro.
No,
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
So,
I remember those days.
So they were doing that, and I was just like, because I was never a stranger to like having a job or that. I didn't give a shit. Like, I'll go work fucking wherever, McDonald's, whoever, you know what I mean? And so I didn't really get this part, and I was like, all right. So listen, you guys. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna buy an ounce of weed. Right, I think it was like $80 at the time.
$80 for an ounce back then.
$80 for an ounce. You know what I mean? I think
So is that
I might
29,
even ask
30
my mom
grams?
for the money. 20
Really?
grams, yeah.
She was like, so you're going to go buy those new Michael Jordans? She was like, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Come on with an ounce. Was it Kush? Was it Sativa?
No, I don't know.
Was it
I don't
garbage?
know.
Was it dirt weed?
It was probably, what did they call it at the time? Skunk. It was
skunk
weed.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I was like, cool. I'm going to buy this ounce, you guys. Now, we're going to bag up $80 worth of weed, and then we're going to just smoke all the other weed. And we just keep selling this 80. So therefore, we never have to be asking people for change to go buy fucking weed because we always have weed.
Yeah.
And this was like, oh, yeah.
Did that work?
It worked for a little bit, and then motherfuckers decided to not help sell the fucking weed.
They end up smoking it.
Yeah, so it's like, and I'm like, yo, listen, well, everybody's smoking, but it's like, nobody's gonna help sell this weed, and if I'm the only one selling the weed, why am I letting y'all niggas smoke all my profit?
Right.
So I was like, yep, cut that shit back, and now I'm in the business of selling drugs. Because now I'm making profit, and I'm like, okay, cool, so let me get 2 ounces, let me get a quarter, and then people, you know.
A quarter pound,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but then like, the white people like to deal with me because, you know, I'm social, I'm friendly.
personable, yeah.
I'm personable.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, no, Sain's my drug dealer. So it's like,
right.
You know, they felt safe. They come down to the hood.
Even back then you had brand loyalty. Yeah. No, keep going.
So that's how that trickled down. And then after a while, it's like, the drug dealers are like, yo, they see that I'm tapped into the white people. So they're like, yo, here, take this cocaine and take this. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. You know, like, I'm not a stranger
it doesn't
to drugs.
matter what the product is, you can move it.
I can move it.
Okay.
And that was very, very valuable. Like,
I've
gotten in trouble for it,
Yeah.
But I was glad that I've learned those lessons because I was like, yo, I can go do anything in the world because I know if worst comes to worst, I could go over here and get this money.
Right.
You know, and
I mean, they would call it a safety net, but it's like a dangerous net.
It's a dangerous net for sure,
Yeah.
But it's a way to do it. But then I also realized, like, when I was in Africa just now.
What part?
Cote d'Ivoire, West Africa, and I was buddy from Tiamo Raouf. He actually just passed away recently. He started a rice company, right, Manny Africa. And, you know, he brought me on or whatever. It's me, him, his daughter, and, like, Dr. Bay and, like, 2 other people, right?
Wow.
So after we harvested all the rice or whatever, and I learned that process, now we're sitting on all this rice, and it's like, yo, we got, I think it was like 170 tons of rice.
170 tons
of rice.
Tons.
And
1 ton is 2,000 pounds for the people who forgot about high school.
Right. You know, 900 kilograms.
Okay, gotcha. Jesus.
You know? So
that's a lot of weight to move.
And that's and it's sitting there because his original business partner kind of strung him along.
Okay,
He's thinking that, all right, cool, we're going to harvest this rice, and then we have a buyer on the end.
Yeah.
There was no buyer sitting on the end waiting for this rice to come in.
Lord.
So now he's just sitting on 170-some tons of rice, and I'm like, yo, Tiamo. I was like, yo, man, we got the weight. Let's just move it.
Yeah.
Like, it's simple as that. Let's just move it. Like, we don't have to sell tons on tons on tons. Like, yo, it's okay to sell Nick bags, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, here we sell 40-gram bags, X and Y and Z. We can package it. And I was like, yo, let's just sell it. But I remember that because I was like, yo, I used to sell drugs. My man, it's just wait, let's just move it. People eat rice.
Right.
Like,
people will always eat rice.
Always eat rice.
Yeah, rice,
you know?
toilet paper, the same shit.
100%. So like, and that's my favorite go-to marketing. It's like, yo, it's grassroots, man. It's like, yo, get with the people and whatever it is, you know, like.
Is that the secret of sales? Like being very personable and relatable?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. I think it's personable, relatable, and you make them feel like it's theirs before they even purchase it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I was watching Renee sell his unit, selling his hat, so what have you, Renee Mantija, and he was just, same thing. He was just like, I have a conversation. One guy was like, no, I'm looking for this hat. He was like, oh, you want this company? I was like, wow, you're not afraid to push me. He was like, nah, because if this ain't for him, I don't want him wearing it and unconfidently or messing it up or whatever. I want him to confidently know what he's investing in.
And I was like, wow. 100%. And the way that Renee pushes them to like another brand or whatever, these people are still going to rep his brand because they're going to be like, yeah, Renee Mantilla pointing me to this brand, you know what I mean? So it's like they're going to still big up his brand.
100%.
You know?
Oh yeah, because he's also a stylist. So like, he's pointing you in the right direction, even though it's not with him, which is really a selfless thing. But it's also like, I'm confident that what I'm moving is worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It has value.
Yeah. It's good shit.
How long have you been like traveling? Like, cause were you traveling when you were in? Damn, this picture of old boy looks nuts.
Is Steve Harvey?
That Steve Harvey almost looks like borderline racist. That shit looks crazy.
It does.
I'm just gonna take a quick picture of this because I might need to send it to the NAACP.
Yeah. I need to check. I need to check with the peoples to see
like,
on a racist scale.
What is this?
Where's this slide?
From a 1 to a 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when did you like really start traveling?
The past 4 years.
So even when you was in Philly, you wasn't traveling like that?
Nah, I didn't care to travel. It was like, I came to New York.
So
LA.
even when you were like bred it up, you still were like, I'm just not even thinking about it like that.
My thing was, I knew when I go, I wouldn't plan to come back. So I was like, yo, let me just, I don't need to be so hyped to. I'm not a vacation guy. I don't want to fucking spend $2,000, $3,000 to get to the place.
Right.
To lay down in vacation. Okay. I'm like, that doesn't happen.
So when you were out in Africa, how long did you stay out there? You were like living out there?
Yeah.
Oh.
I moved to Africa.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and then I separated with my wife, and I was like, I stayed out there for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't cool. Because when you get to Africa, man, you're not African. You're African American here, but when you get to Africa, you're just American.
Uh-huh. I learned that in Haiti.
Yeah.
I learned that, like, I never felt so American in Haiti. Like, when I went to Port-au-Prince, and I took a boat to a little island called La Grenade, and, like, I remember we got into...
That sounds pretty cool, La Grenade.
Oh, yeah, it's like a little island. It only has, like, a school and a church. Like, there's nothing else out there. But on the ride up there, we were taking a pickup truck. So I'm in the back of the pickup truck, drinking bags of water or whatever. And we would pass through these villages, and these little kids will always run behind the truck and point to me, and they would be like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I asked my translator, I was like, what does blah mean? He was like, oh, it means you are a white man. And I said, no, you see that guy right there? That guy, that's a white guy. Man, yeah. He was like, no, you're a white man. I was like, no, I'm not a white man.
You're a white man.
I said, no. And so, but several experiences on my trip there, I was volunteering or whatever, and I was like, damn, I never felt so like really understanding like what it means to be an American. You know what I mean? Like not African American, not like just. And of course, when you go to Europe and all that other stuff, it's just like that's what they just. You're like American, and then you're black or whatever you say you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. So talk to me more about your experiences in Africa.
Yeah, I don't know.
But how long were you there for?
I was there for a year and a few months,
You just up and moved?
Yeah. No, I moved to family.
Wait, were you like?
I had a son.
Wait, I just want to ask you
right
quick.
Nas off of Belly.
Now, I'm about to say that.
That's what I thought.
I'm about to say, like, was you sitting in the barber chair and tell your barber, like, yo, I'm moving to Africa. You beat me to it.
That's exactly what I thought it was.
Okay, so.
I had my wife, I had my son. I was like, moving to Africa.
Yeah, just minus the whole AZ part where AZ was like, yo, I'm going to catch you, bro. And the guy, AZ, you foul for that.
Yeah.
So you just bounced in with, but what was your motivation? Like you was like, I'm sick and tired of this shit?
No.
Was it the unrest? Like what was it? Where you were just like, need to get out of America or like?
Nah, none of that shit. It's just like breaking the what do you call it? That shackle, that one chain from my son.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And just.
How old is he now?
He'll be 2 in like a few days.
Okay. So you wanted to break the one shackle? What does that mean?
Or just like a shackle.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's all these whatever chains that, African Americans have, you know,
Facts.
just being here and all that good shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
For me to be like, yeah, but my son's raised in Africa.
Uh-huh.
I don't know all the chains that it'll break for him, but I know it's going to be different. He's already ahead of where I was.
Right.
Growing up.
Out
and
the gate.
that was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the goal. That was the kind of goal for me. And, you know, I think it's different living. It's an experience for me as well.
What was like something that like really?
Actually, I'm going to call him real quick.
Go for
what
it.
What did you say?
No. Like call, make your phone call. I can make a pause for the cause.
All right, cool. That's cool.
What time is it over there?
8:30.
In the morning?
9 o'clock.
At night.
Yeah.
What time is it here? Let me see.
3.
3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's a 6 hour. Little 6 hour difference. Yeah, I don't know, man. The experiences in Africa weren't.
There wasn't anything that stood out to you that was like abrasive,
No.
or like you just like immediately. I tell you, so like when I went to Haiti, they said, because again, like I was staying in like just a shack or a home or whatever. I stayed with a host family. So the host family goes like this: you could bathe in the river, or we have these 2 buckets that we have for you. And I was like, I'll go and bathe in the river. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, I get my towel or whatever, and I go to the river, and then I just see everybody bathing, and I just was like, those buckets are looking... I just like froze up. I was like, holy shit. Like, I never felt so uncomfortable for whatever reason, but I was just like, I don't know if I could do the river thing. Like, I didn't like think it all the way through. Like, so I got to put my feet in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how... And I mean, this is a vulnerable moment. I'm telling you, I'm just like, I couldn't wrap my brain around even putting my feet in the water because I don't. When's the last time I put my feet? Even here, I haven't put my feet in any river water. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could we're in Central Park. Like, I could walk over here. I wouldn't put my foot in this water over here. I don't know. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna use those buckets. So I walked all the way back.
Yeah.
And I just felt so uncomfortable, but at the same time, I was like, this is what traveling is about. Like, even being real enough with yourself to be like, hey, I know I thought I could do this, and I couldn't, and that made me uncomfortable. But at the same time, like, the buckets, the smell of the water, like, all those things were just, like, part of that experience. But it reminded me of, like, how maybe insulated or what. I don't even want to say blessed. I just want to say, like,
It's to me
Americanized.
And to me, that was what I realized. I was like, yo, I'm about comfort and convenience, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and once you guys start taking that away, it's like, you start taking the convenience away, I'm gonna be a little less uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Or like, whatever. And so forth and so on. So it's like, that's why, I don't want to say I missed America, but when I got back, it literally felt like I got out of jail.
What?
That's literally, and that kind of fucked me up when I got back here. And I was like, yo, this is
felt like you
literally
got the same feeling?
Literally the same feeling.
What are the parallels? Like, what is the thing that you think caused that feeling? Like, what was absent in jail that was absent in Africa that when you got back here that you felt that you got your freedom again? I could be misconstruing all that.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, jail is jail. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't, Africa's way better than being in jail.
Of course.
You know?
We don't need to misconstrue that. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
You know,
but I mean that feeling of like, was it because, again, all those conveniences and those comforts had returned?
I think so.
Okay. The things that we take for granted. Like, I didn't realize I took water for granted until I went to Haiti, and I was like, I really think that this thing is everlasting. Yeah. Like, I understood Mos Def, New World Water. I understood the lyrics that much better when I got back to New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's ridiculous. I had 3 apartments in Cote d'Ivoire. I was maybe 3 or 4, but I was in different villages as well as the main city, Abidjan. And in Dabakala, we didn't have water for maybe a month. So I'd cut up and I was riding my motorcycle. So I'd ride my motorcycle maybe like 6-7 hours up to Dabakala and get there, and you know, I'm dirty because I was on a fucking motorcycle.
Yeah.
I'd be like, cool, I'm gonna take a shower, I'm gonna lay down, watch some Netflix or some shit.
Yeah.
Because, the little pad was
You
dope.
got Netflix but no water.
Netflix and no water.
That sounds like
Netflix and
a
no
really,
water,
I would read
son.
that book.
Netflix and no water.
My book is called Netflix and No Water.
Yeah.
It's about my experience in Africa.
in Africa.
Wow.
Yo, for a whole month, and I had to get.
So what did you do to?
Yeah, I had to buy these bottles of water because I couldn't use. Not I couldn't use, like they're not well water. What do you call it? Like their tank water.
Yep.
It's like, yo, I was told not to use it because I'm an American and I fuck around and get sick.
Yes, 100%.
So it's like,
That's why I was
right.
drinking that bag water because it's like.
Yeah, I heard that's just as bad.
I went to Cuba, and I was doing fine. And I think like you're supposed to take the water bottle and put on your toothbrush or whatever. And I was doing all that, but then we went out to eat, and I got like a red snapper, and I ate, and it was the best fish I ever had in my life. It was so delicious.
Yeah.
But for the following days, all the way back till I got back to New York, my stomach was a wrap, like what they call like Montezuma's Revenge.
Yeah.
Like it was like I was like, if I'm ever gonna brown my socks, it's gonna be on this trip. It was horrible.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I made that mistake with the water before. That's not a good look at all.
Not a good look. Not a good look. Yeah, I got that. I got sick. What is it? What's the shit you get? Malaria.
You got malaria.
I think I have malaria. I think I had malaria. I was really, really, really sick one time in Abidjan, and then I was really sick in Dabakala. I had typhoid.
Jesus.
Yeah, and that's just from dirty fucking cooking. And I kept getting my food from the hotel because that was supposed to be the cleanest food. You know what I mean? So I would fucking ride my bike to this hotel
and still get caught up.
And still got typhoid. I was like,
so what do you do in those situations today? Like, is there like a doctor, or you like?
There was
thank
goodness, there was a hospital right there. I thought it was COVID or something, but they gave me some shit from the pharmacy or whatever, and I was good in like 3 days. Yeah.
So what do you think like was your biggest takeaway from that trip?
I really.
Is it because you're still in it? Like you're gonna return? That's what
I
your
am gonna
family
return.
Is? Yeah.
I'm gonna return in pieces.
Okay.
I have no whole intention of spending more than 4 months, 3 months.
Oh, okay. That's still a nice chunk of time.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
I was trying to be there 24. You know what I mean? So to me, it's like 3 months. It's like, okay, that's a little vacation time or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know what my takeaway from it is.
Oh, we got to bounce.
Know? Yeah. Oh, it's going down.
So good.
Yeah, I don't. That's my favorite karaoke song though. So in love with you.
I love that.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah. I don't really know. I think about. I'm gonna self-reflect on that a little bit more for me as well.
No, yeah, I don't want you to make up an answer if it ain't there.
Yeah, I don't really have it. It's hard for me to articulate myself sometimes.
Nah, man, these are questions like you didn't expect anybody to ask you that question today.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, we're gonna go this way.
We can't walk through there?
Yeah, we can walk through there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's walk through there. What was I gonna ask you? How did you get folded up into like all the creative stuff with like Artful Dodger and Netic and all? How'd you get folded into that?
Fucking Netic?
Yeah.
Period. Well, Netic dated my sister or whatever, and I used to come down to New York just to hang out with Netic, and like just the shit.
What was your first impression when you first met him?
My first impression was, okay, cool. I don't have to worry about my sister fucking with some nut ass dude because I felt like he was an okay guy.
Yeah.
And I think we met at coffee shop Union Square or whatever, and I was like, word, cool. And then I don't even remember like our meetups after that, but it was just like that was my brother. You know? And
the first time I met him, I was like, what is this energy?
Yeah.
I was like, that echo was just us walking through this super dope arch.
Yeah.
But I was like, what is this energy?
Yeah.
And he and I would like have all kinds of like bugged out conversations. And then one day we were talking about, we were at Isha's house and we were talking about books and stuff. And I was like, you know what my favorite book is? And he said, what? I said, The Alchemist. And I said, you know what it's just like? It's pretty much a parallel to? He said, what? I said, Pimp by Iceberg Slim. and he fell on the floor. Yeah. He started laughing. Yeah. I was like, I've never seen him like laugh so hard. Wasn't even cracking a joke. And I was just like, oh shit. Yeah. And so like, from then, you know, whenever we would talk and kick it, I would always just be curious, like, like I've never met somebody with that kind of energy right. With, you know, that thirst for knowledge and still rock with you and then be contrarian, but still almost like mental chess. So I may disagree with you, but not really, but let's just see where we can grow. Yeah, yeah. You know, that kind of thing. I was just like, shit.
Yeah, yeah. He's great. He's great. Legendary to me, you know? Yeah. Legendary to me. And I said, to me, it was just freeing, you know, when I met Netic. I was just like, we're like, all right. So, show me, like, what the fuck is going on? And I think the first book he gave me was The Greatest Salesman. OG somebody,
Mandingo,
right?
Yeah.
OG Mandingo.
Yeah, I think it's called Og Mandingo, but because you're from the hood, we'd be like, OG.
OG Mandingo. Yeah, that fucking guy. Yep. And I read it, and it was so weird because it's like, I wasn't a big reader. I'm still not a big reader.
Right.
But it's like, oh man, he chose a book that was short, easy read, very powerful. It was great. It was like, oh, this was perfect for me.
Right.
I read that book, and then he didn't have the second copy, so I bought 2 copies, and I gave him that. I gave him one and read that joint. It was like, yo, these things are really. It was just really great, and it was really. Like
now you wet your palate, like let's get you started.
Let's get you started,
That's
you know.
Dope.
And then we was on Orson Scott Card, all that bullshit.
I think the book he recommended to me, and I'll be 1,000% honest with you, was The Witch of Portobello.
Witch of Portobello.
I
feel like I just seen that book somewhere.
And it, I started to get into it, and then I got distracted and never got back to it. And I want to because it's the same author who did The Alchemist. It's the same author.
Oh, okay, nice.
And so. I just wasn't in the headspace for it at the time.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna revisit it now that we're having this conversation.
Yeah, good shit. Yeah, I need to revisit some books on my own as well. But yeah, man, Netic, he kept me out of jail, not by being like, oh, this is what you should be doing.
Right. Those are the best people. Yeah.
A bullshit. He's just like,
he wasn't
you
like
just
trying
kept
to
me out
kick
of jail
knowledge.
because you redirected my
energy.
Yeah. My energy, my direction of fucking energy, that was my output.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. And then you didn't even really redirect it. You just showed me or allowed me to be in a space to where I could see that I could redirect my energy and be like, oh, okay, cool, because I'm still a fucking idiot.
Right.
You know? But it's like, oh, I can use this energy, this street dumb shit to be a fucking rebel.
Right.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I could be a rebel everywhere because that's also kind of like the cool thing to do.
Right.
So I could be a rebel in business, I could be a rebel in art, I could do, you know what I mean? And like there's these names for things. It's like, oh, this is fucking constructive rebelism.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, I'm here for this shit.
Constructive rebelism.
Like, you know?
Yes, yes.
And that's how that started evolving me into the whole creative thing because I'm like, I think I have an aesthetic eye that is also, you know, things that I could point out is also pleasing to others. You know what I mean? You can see the aesthetic pleasure in it, you know? So it's like, oh, okay, well, I like the way that looks, right? Yeah. And I think I could create that. And if I like the way that looks, that means 3 other people probably like the way that looks. So if I create that, I can have 3 fans, or not even fans, but, you know, somebody else is going to like it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool, let me just create some dope shit. And one of the things about my art as well is like, yo, I just want people to see my art and to see the simplicity of art, simplicity of life. You know
what
I mean?
is your art? Is it painting or what is your art?
Painting.
Living?
Yeah.
You paint?
I do some paintings. I do some music. I'm ready to do this book.
What's the book called?
It's gonna be called In the Concrete Jungle. But it's in the concrete jungle, but it's like this old rap that I had made, and it's really for like kids from 7 to like 13. And you'll see.
You
You'll
know
like
the rap by heart?
Do I know about heart?
Yeah.
100%.
Go for it. I'm trying to throw you the alley-oop. Just
stand up. You know.
No, just get this shit. Like,
yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I said, I've been bitten by the snakes, caged with the apes. ate with the humans and stayed awake with the owls. I was a small-time nigga, hung out with the fowls, but I was as fly as an eagle, dressed in some cow, walking in them crocs, went fishing with the biz, tossed chickens in the pot, on the block with them pigeons, with them pigs on my top. Freak body nigga, had ducks giving top, bearded with the lions in the jungle, black with the panthers, hunting with the wolves and spitting with the camels. I'm an unknown creature. My man's is an animal. I swam with the sharks. I walked with gorillas, seen it all with the hawks, politic with the vultures, stay away from the horse, gave stripes to white horses. Niggas call them zebras. My man's is an animal. I'm an unknown creature. I retaliate slow and get slimy with the snails, left cats and elephant noses, hard body, plus I'm back hard like an armadillo, a wolf in sheep clothing. Mistake me for a runaway chicken, cause I'm fly in the coop. I get funky with the skunks, I claw with the crabs, I fought with the pits, got caught in the trap with the rats, rolling dogs with some fleas. I'm an unknown creature. Niggas not like me. They a new type of species, evolved from disease. They chirp with them crickets to save they own tail. They slither with them dogs and bark with them snakes. They eat with the rats. They species of stuffed animal. These niggas just fake.
Wow.
So that's like one of my classic joints.
Jeez.
And as you see, like the relative to like all the animals and stuff.
Yes, sir.
I just turned it into a children's book.
Wow. Wait.
And
Wait, hold on. I just want to just touch on this writing. Like, did it all come out at once, or did you like keep revisiting it?
No, man.
All that just came out at one. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it was so crazy.
Like you tapped into a reservoir of creativity, and you
Yeah.
look back and you was like, where the hell did that come from?
Where did it come from? Where did it come from?
Where did it come from?
I don't know.
I'm asking.
Oh, I was in jail.
You was in jail?
I was in jail. I was in jail, and my man had said, he had a bar. What was it? I can't remember what his bar was that inspired it, but he had a relative bar of comparing himself to one of to an animal or whatever. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a whole rhyme like that.
Wow.
That shit was hard.
Wow.
And then I went in my cell and I banged that joint out and was like,
Did you spit it like in the yard?
Yeah. I was eating niggas alive with it. And what's crazy is because I had like 4 other ones, and it's like, so I get in the other joints, like it was like black on black, dressed like the violence in Philly, strap on strap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. And then they go, and then it be my turn again. I give them another black on black joint or whatever.
The setup.
Yeah. And it's like, all right. They spit their joints. I'm like, all right, y'all ready?
And then you hit them with this
bang,
camera.
like,
Because you know what that reminds me of? That main scene in that film Slam with Saul Williams, where like there's about to be a fight in the yard, and then Saul Williams just kicks this ill spoken word poem. He's like, I stand on the block slinging air with this rocks. Like it just goes up. And then they're like, yo, what was he about to fight? Yeah, they had, and it was like Bones Malone was there. He was like, what was we about to fight about? I don't remember. Like, so when you kick that shit, like, people would just lose their minds.
Yeah. Wow. It was like, yo, that shit was, mind you, that shit was, I ain't been in jail in 10, 12 years. How long we know each other? About 10 years?
10, 12.
Yeah.
So when I met you, had just got out?
I had just got out, maybe like a year before, 2 years before.
Yeah, because you was pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
And you was like, oh, this New York set shit? Yeah, that's dope. All right, let me get down with that. And I was like, all right, so we started meeting you like, all right, so we're going to do your shit, and then we're going to do my shit. And I was like, I was on the train, I was like, yo, this dude, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, nah, that's not happening like that. I was like, it's going to be a little too hot. Like, he was telling me, he was like, we're going to do your book, and then we're going to do the Sain book. And I was like, nah, I don't know who this guy thinks I am. I'm not with it. Like, it was just too much. But at the same time, it was just kind of like, not personally, you just be like...
Oh, no, and that's the thing, yo, a lot of you motherfuckers, you guys inspire me.
Okay.
Right? It's like, you guys have some shit, and it's like, oh, man, that inspires me to do something similar or whatever, and I just don't know how to go about it. I'll be like, yo, motherfucker, I'm inspired. Don't be mad because you had some inspiring shit.
Right, no, I'm not mad at all.
Gave me you know what I'm saying? So, and then it's like...
But let's just say how this conversation came about. About a week ago, you go, yo, Amon, the next time you have an interview, I want to be there to heckle you. I want to heckle you in the interview. I was like, why you want to heckle me? He was like, it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. I said, how about you just do the show? And then me and you could just talk, and you was like, all right. And then he was like, but what about the heckling? I was like, yo, heckle yourself. Why don't you just heckle yourself? But I mean, like, you gotta have people like Sain in your circle. You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing with Nettie. Like, same thing with everybody. GB, everybody. It's just like these people keep you sharp and inspired. You know, like just be like, all right, so I know I thought I was doing this, but turns out I'm doing this. So this is happening. So,
yeah.
you know,
yeah,
I totally understand.
It's great shit. Yeah, you guys are definitely inspiring. I think that's what, like that whole circle that Nedick has built over his time span that I've known for New York. It's like, yo, man, everybody kind of still sharp and still. I've never seen a greater example than this circle.
Yeah, this circle, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's really ridiculous.
That even at the celebration in Brooklyn, I think that was like lot 49, that's what they call it?
45, yeah.
45, yeah, lot 45. I remember just like walking in, and when I knew it was happening, I was kicking it with my mom's, and I was like, Mom, what you doing? And she was like, I'm chilling. I was like, yo, rock with me to this celebration. And she was like, bet. So like she came, and I, you know, everybody is everybody. So of course people know my mom's because it's over the years of events or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is the type of energy that I know is gonna be there that I could bring my mother to this.
Yeah, exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I bought her some sangria, and she listened to house music, and she just danced and chilled or whatever. And I was like, this is what he wanted, or this is what he would have seen, and that love is real. So that circle that we're in is literally a gift and a blessing. Like I don't know what I did to kind of be folded into the mix.
Yeah.
Same with you, because it seems like it's nourishing in a real way.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's literally like when I came back from Africa. My man's was having a wedding, a couple people's birthday and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just come back for like a month or so.
Yeah.
See if I could, put out some fillers or whatever, some creative financial things could fall into place. If not, whatever, you know what I mean? Go back and do this right stuff or figure it out, right?
Right.
And then that passed away. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, well, it was just a shot. Like, what am I supposed not so much what am I supposed to do now. It was like,
somebody pulled the floor from under you.
yeah, and it's like, the only regret I have is that he didn't get to meet my son. I didn't force that to be a thing, because we were both in LA, or he was in Mexico, but we were right there.
Right.
And I didn't pressure that to make that happen.
Yeah.
So I'm a little upset about that. But then I'm like, all right, well, my man left a lot of dope ass energy around. I was like, and the only way that I know how to fully show, to honor him is to show him my growth. So it's like, fuck, I don't want to, like the whole fucking rapping shit or whatever. It's like, yo, I never wanted to be a rapper. You're the rock star, bro.
Right.
That's why I was okay to be over here, because I could feel some rock star energy without having to be the rock star.
So were you a part of the team of Gang Rebellion and all that?
Nah, I was just more like the number one fan.
Okay, because you definitely were in the crowd at that Brooklyn Museum concert, like the highest jumping person.
Yeah, that was.
So that was an actual
I know all
facts.
that music, you know what I mean, by heart. Like that was. Listen, man, that shit kept me out of jail. Like literally kept me out of jail, because it was like, yo, this shit was so great. I was like, I need to be a part of this every fucking time there's a show. Okay. I'm pulling up. Nedick, what are you doing? What's going on? Like, I'm staying for the weekend. Gotta get back and do work during the week, but I'll be right back. Yeah. Friday evening, bro. Like, hands down. Where's the show at? What are we doing? Kind of thing.
What do you think is like the biggest thing that people misconstrue about you?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, man. I don't really know what people think about me all the time.
Okay, gotcha.
You know? So, I really, Alexander Nash, he told me, he was like, yo, write down some things.
Who said that?
Alexander Nash.
Oh, yeah, Alex.
Nash.
Yeah, that's my people.
And he's like, write down the things that you think about yourself, your positives, your flaws, and then ask some people, what do they think your positives and flaws are? And I was like, word, and get them to write down, then cross things off the list, if and other things like if you guys have the similar things, like these are the things that you need to work on, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I was like, yeah, word, I'm gonna do that, And I remember last time, it was many years ago, I asked my friends my flaws or whatever, and they were just fucking, I was like, you motherfuckers aren't really my friends, yo.
Oh, Lord.
Because
they didn't know?
It wasn't, they wouldn't say anything, like they were just like they didn't want to hurt my feelings or something. You know what I mean? They're like, oh man,
it doesn't seem like they can.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they can, but it's like
I'm saying, you got a thick skin is what I'm saying. Like 100%. I think you could take constructive criticism is what I'm saying.
And one of my things is, you can tell me about my character and my actions, all day, and I'm not going to get offended by it because it's, for one, it's something you didn't like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's, for real, that's your fault. That's on you.
Right.
But if I care also about your judgment, your opinion, your perception of things, then I'm going to work on those things.
Okay.
So I'm like, cool, thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah.
I still don't give a shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But what if
That's
it's
how
like
you
a
feel.
number thing? Like it's like you ask 10 people and 10 people say the same 10 things. They're like, oh yeah, you probably need to work on this. And you're like, well, I guess telling my closest friends have said that I need to.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, whatever
I would work on that. You know, I would work on those things, but I would still be like,
Let's go on this thing. Whatever.
okay, cool.
Hallett Nature Sanctuary. That's
Well,
crazy.
pretty cool.
I didn't know this existed.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe it though, because it's like, I'm going to work on it, and I take those things of bettering myself. Like, all right, cool, thank you for pointing that out. Maybe sometimes people could do it in a different way or
Got you.
whatever, but it's like, cool, whatever way that you did it, I'm still on the receiving end, so I'm gonna work on that. But I also still don't care because I'm comfortable in who I am. Like, not that I don't care. You kind of get what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I get it. Like you brought it up. I'll take it into consideration.
Yeah.
If it applies, I'll rock with it. But if it don't, let it fly.
Yeah, let it fly. And it's like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm sorry that I offended you.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Next time, I'll again be sorry that I offended you. If I
Right.
didn't work on it, if I did work on it, great. If I didn't, sorry that I offended you again.
Yeah, my
like the fuck, man.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna stress myself out
No.
over, the perceptions that people have of me.
Right.
You know, but I would
Big ass rat or whatever that is.
I always welcome though. I always welcome the judgment and the X and Y and Z.
So did you circle back to Alex and when you? Or that was just something
this
that you
was
did on your
this
own?
was recent. This was recent.
Oh, okay.
That was telling me to do that.
You went to
and-
the new shop? Oh, that's not
Yeah,
new, but
over
like-
down on Broadway.
Yeah, whenever I'm in the area, I stop by just to say what up and build with them or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, that self-reflection is something that I feel like you have to revisit. I know I did that like during COVID on the lockdown. I was like, all right, who am I? What am I? What is this? What is that? Who is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
What serves? What doesn't serve?
Yeah.
And let's, keep it moving. But no one's ever gonna like. You got to do the work, basically.
You got to do the work. Damn it. I didn't do my. Oh. I didn't pay for this parking. Beyond maximum restricted in this zone. Huh. All right. Yeah.
So where's your headspace at now, though?
Kind of still figuring that out, I guess. Because like I said, I feel like a piece of me wants to do things that's going to be honoring, in the space of honoring Nedic, showing growth on my part, growing on my part as well. But there's also things like, I don't have all of the passion to do all of those things. So it's like I have to force myself to do them. But I also feel like I'm detached from the passion of doing things. It's just...
Did having your son change things? Like, did it change your headspace?
Yeah, 100%.
Talk about that for a
100%.
second, because I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have any children, but I know, I've heard people say like all of a sudden their ambitions turn up because they realize like, all right, it's one thing to feed me, but my kid,
Yeah.
I can't fail them.
Yeah,
so to
definitely
speak.
can't fail them. And doing things. And so that's what it's like. So the things that I want to do, it's not so much creativity. It's like, yo, okay, where's the stability? Stability. Like,
Gotcha.
all right, yeah, cool. I could do a creative project. Is there stability in that? All right. Yeah, I could do that. As long as the things that I'm doing are attached to a source of stability, then I'm down for it. Like, so that's one of the biggest things that's changed. But then me and my wife, we separated. So I kind of feel like that's fucking being deprived of fucking fatherhood.
Damn.
Like, my son lives in France, and like, he speaks French. It's like, I don't really speak French like that, so it's like,
Wow.
communication barrier already.
What is the biggest thing you learned about yourself after having a son?
The biggest thing I learned about myself.
Oh, one of them. Not like, it don't have to be the main thing, but like, what have you learned what have you learned about you now? Like, what has he taught you?
No, he hasn't, nothing yet.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing yet. We're still,
Still getting to know each other?
yeah, still getting to know each other. And like I said, like, I haven't, like, as him being, baby through COVID and everything, like, that was the most hands-on. And now, you know, being separated, seeing him 1 week out of the month isn't, it's a little dead end pond thing. Oh, that's pretty cool.
I gotta say, man, I appreciate you like saying like, nah, we ain't gotta go to the fountain. I would have not seen any of this shit. Like I've never seen, I mean, Central Park is huge, but I've never seen this.
Right? This is pretty
I didn't even know the sanctuary existed.
Oh, I like this.
With the steps and all that, like,
right?
Yeah.
I gotta come back here on a little datey date.
Yeah, this is literally where you get the truth out of somebody. I had an OG tell me, he was like, if you ever want to have like a real conversation with a woman, make sure that it's dark and that it's by some water, and then just have a conversation, and then you guys will have a real connection. You'll find out who's sitting in front of you.
Yeah.
And I was like 19, and that's been true. So like this is a very beautiful,
tried and tested.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, what I've learned, it's still in the making, you know, and I'm still like, my eyes are still open for it and whatnot. And I feel like I've raised a lot of other people's kids, or have been, you know, like a firm hand in helping them raise their kids.
What is something that you feel like you've instilled? Like, what do you give as far as
other
like
people's kids?
In the sense of like, I would say for me, I wouldn't be sitting in front of you if my OGs in the barbershop didn't look out for me. If they was like telling me like, this is how you talk to the police. This is how you do this. They assisted me in navigating the world. Because I didn't have any big brothers, but these barbers were definitely people who just kind of pulled me to the side and was like, yo, you messing up over here, but you're doing good over here. But this is what you got to keep a lookout for. Like, what are something that like?
I think just it's kind of not always the best thing, but it's like, yo, man, you're allowed to do whatever you want to do, and do what you have to do so you could do what you want to do.
Right.
This is what I've tell everybody's friends' kids that I've had the interaction with, you know, and they're taking advice from me and everything like that. And it's like, yo, it's okay. Like, if you're going to do the dangerous things, like, do them safely, or knock this out first so you don't get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's going to say anything for you doing this because you already did all this. You went ahead and cleaned up the fucking whole living room.
Yeah.
So you fucking around in your room doing whatever. Nobody can say shit because, you know what I mean? What are they going to say? Come clean this, come clean that?
Yeah.
I already did it. You know what I mean? So that was always my thing. And to just kind of give them that little bit of insight to try to keep them from being in trouble with their parents. And kind of, I remember Blaze, Danny's son. Danny wouldn't let him play with like toy guns or anything, right? And we were in Prospect Park.
Yep.
Whole little barbecue thing was going on. And some little kid, Danny was like, all right, go play with the little kid or whatever. So he goes to play with the little kid. Little kid's got a gun. So now Blaze is playing with this gun. Danny catches Blaze playing with this gun. Boom, yells at him, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Blaze puts the gun down, goes off over there in the field, right? Until he's upset. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go talk to him. So I go over there, and I was like, what's up, man? It's like, it's all right, man. It's like, you just know, I think he was maybe 5 or 4 at the time. And I was like, your dad just doesn't want you, you know, playing with those guns. You understand that, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I understand that. But what he doesn't understand, like, there's 2 different kinds of guns. Like, there's guns that kill people, and then there's these guns that they're not going to kill nobody.
Right.
So, and I was like, well, I think it's time for you to have another conversation with your dad about these guns, because you obviously get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. You're good. And
did he have that conversation?
I don't know if he did or he didn't. But
he had that understanding. Since
I came back from Africa, it was like the end of April. Blaze is now 11 or whatever. 10. Yeah. So Blaze is 11. We went paintballing.
Okay.
So now these niggas is in the woods shooting, and these shits hurt.
Right.
Like,
right.
So, all that shit. And I was like, it's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
You know, and I brought that up to them.
Did he remember that conversation?
Yeah, I was like, yo, you guys, I don't know if they had the conversation.
No, I'm saying, did Blaze remember that conversation with you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, you see how far things come? And I was like, it's kind of crazy.
To come full circle.
Full circle. It's like you used to get in trouble for playing guns. Now your dad's got you in the woods shooting them.
Wow.
I was like, yo, this is really great, you know, but he thanks me for a lot of things. I taught him how to play chess and stuff. So that's great, but it's like, yo, all these little half-ass fatherly moments. I always just wanted to give the whole fatherly moment to my son, you know?
Okay, gotcha.
So, like, not being there and just, like, him not understanding me, but just having these kind of random conversations with him still, to me, it's like, that's kind of important.
Yeah, I think it was dope. Like, he was like, I'm going to call him right now. And he just got on the FaceTime and called him, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just kind of stepped off to the side, but that was, like, right now. Like, this is happening, like, right now.
Right now.
I'm going to call him right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss my guy, man.
Yeah.
I miss my guy, but I'm going to go see him Sunday.
You flying back to France?
Yeah. So I'll stay for the week. Yeah, that's cool.
So what got you into chess?
My grandpa used to play chess on his computer back growing up, and that's all he used to do.
And are you nice?
Yeah.
You real nice?
Yeah.
Like, what's the key? Like, if somebody would say like me, I know the moves, but I know you would obliterate me immediately. But like, what is the key to like learning and becoming, let's just say, decent at chess?
Yeah, keep playing.
Just keep playing.
Just keep playing. Because you're going to realize your strategy and what you like to do. Like, if you like to keep your queen, you know what I mean? Protect your queen just as much as you're protecting your king. If you like to attack more, if you like to play defense. So you kind of have to figure out your game, what your game is.
Okay.
So you have to keep playing. And you have to, you know, you're going to lose. You're going to lose a lot.
You ever play any of the guys in like Washington Square Park or Union Square?
Yeah, Union Square.
You play those guys?
Yeah. I played 2 of those guys. Those dudes are nice. Dudes are nice. I beat one dude.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think I beat him because he was just like, I think he was being, what do you call it? Like, he was being cocky.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, this motherfucker.
He was trying to do like and one on chess.
Yeah, type shit. You know, thinking I couldn't play or something.
Trick moves and shit.
I was like, yo, my nigga, it's checkmate.
Right, okay.
And he's like, let's play again. I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I got to win on you. Like,
yeah.
I got to win in
Forever.
Union Square. Like, I'm good, bro.
I got my first cousin named Danny, and our whole childhood, he had a basketball court in the back of his, in Queens, in Laurelton.
Yeah.
He had a basketball court, and we would play one-on-one for hours, for years, like growing up. And he never beat me, like not one time. So, one day we're adults, we're having beers, and I was like, yo, Danny, do you know that you've never beat me in a basketball game? I'm undefeated against you.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, man, we got to switch that up.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I'm like out of shape, but he's in shape. He's like, we got to go play like right now. I'm like, no, we'll never play ever again.
So fucking ship his cell.
So I would go to his house and just like say what up.
Yeah.
And then immediately he would just check the ball from the porch. He'd be like, yo, it's on. I'm like, nope. But I would just move out the way of the basketball. Like, nah, man, in your life, I'm a champion.
Hell yeah.
You got to take the wins.
Got to take the wins, yo.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. Yeah, I like it. Chess is great. Chess is great. That's how I came up with the name Stay Sane.
Okay, go for it.
RG's name on chess.com is his grandmother's name's Wisdom, and his last name's Grant, so it's Grant Wisdom. And I was like, yo, that's fucking hard. Like, I love that. So I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna be up on this joint whipping everybody's ass with some corny ass name.
Right.
So I had to sit there for a second. I was like, Grant Wisdom. I was like, that shit's dope. I was like, all right. Oh, Stay Sane.
Stay Sane, Grant Wisdom.
I was
got
like,
it.
yo. So I put that, and then after a while, I think GB was like, yo, man, that should be like your social media handles and your Twitter shit or whatever. And I was like, yeah, cool. You know what I mean? I'm going to do that, you know, because I fucking care about, you know, whatever social media type shit. So I did that. And then it just started like evolving. It was like, oh, this is a brand.
It became a philosophy too.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Stay calm, stay sane.
Everything, yeah.
I'd see your stickers.
Yeah.
I'd be putting up stickers and I see your stickers. I'm like, oh, shit, that's what's up. Put my sticker next to your sticker. Respect. I see you, brother.
Respect. Nice.
Yeah.
So that was, and it became a thing. And I kind of want to sit down and, like, I love what you did with your shit. So I would love to sit down and, you know, come up with a good, just New York said.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And because you're more in depth with it. Like when we were having that conversation when I was in LA, and you're like, oh, it's so much more. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess it is, huh? Let me see. I was like, oh, it is.
It was clear. I was like, yo, you're telling me you want to do this thing, and I'm like, yo, saying you don't know what it's become.
Right.
And you know, and there was times where you and I would talk, and you would tell me some idea that I already had on my list of things to do, and you'd be like, Word. You came up with that?
Yeah,
I'm like,
you already had it.
Say, I'm like, yo, it's not. I'm like, we're both creatives,
Yeah,
yo. Like,
yeah.
It's just money, resources, and time. I'll get to it, but
Yeah.
you're like, all right.
All right.
So what I always saw is like, I always sincerely appreciated your support and like even being inspired by New York Said. But I was like, yo, Stay Sane is, you could totally do the same exact thing. Like, all I'm doing is I'm doing an oral history. Like what we're doing right now is basic oral history. Because when this comes out or wherever it goes, when your son gets to college, he'll understand a slice of who his father is at this moment. And your voice. Not like remixed or anything. Like nobody could ever say whatever because it came out of your mouth. That's the whole point of this.
And me, years from now, trying to articulate this moment, it's not going to be the same.
Yes, like not to get too deep, but like I had a really close friend pass away yesterday. And when he was in the hospital, my mom hit me and was like, yo, Keith's not doing too well. I was like, shit, I need to do a legacy call, which I call just getting oral history. So I called him up in the hospital. We talked for like 2 hours, told me his whole story. And so I have it. And now I'm going to give it to his kids. You know, but I knew that because, you know, people don't understand, like, we're not immortal. I mean, they understand it, but they don't really know it until
it happens.
Until things happen. And so, like, I'm getting ahead of it and just saying, like, look, if you ever wanted to hear your father's voice again, not only here's his voice, but here's his story, here's his laugh, here's his philosophy. Hear all of it, you know, good, bad, and ugly. So, like, what I'm doing isn't unique. It's just unique because it's coming out of my style. Like, your style is your style. Like, we're both wearing all black. But your style, but the way you're styling it and the way that I'm styling it is two different things, and they both fly. You get what I'm saying? So, for you to approach this same exact concept coming out of the filter of Stay Sane, it's going to already be, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same techniques and fundamentals, but it's going to be totally different. And it doesn't, and like the said thing is like, it came from the photography. Like I was taking all the pictures and I was like, New York said that. Okay, past tense, New York said, that makes sense. And then it just grew from there. But that is how that seed was planted. But sometimes the best thing is right in front of you. And you could totally do all the same concepts. And I'm an open book, so like, anything that you like, what equipment are you using? What vendor are you using? What software are you using? What stickers do you use? I'll tell you everything. And it'll all come through your lens. So as opposed to like, all right, let's do LA Said. And it's like, yeah, that's cool, but the whole concept, it's like, kind of like, I get the homage part of it, but like the Stay Sane thing is so much stronger than LA Said. You get what I'm saying? It's because it's coming directly, uncut, you know, we're going to use drug references right off the brick.
100%.
Unstepped on from you.
100%.
You get what I mean?
Yep. And I think, like, I've realized that some of my output is like the lack of confidence. And just in self, like self-confidence. And it's weird because I'm like, yo, personality-wise.
I would never in my billion years think that you would be unconfident about anything.
100%. And that's why it's fucking weird to me. Because I'd be like, I don't know what other reasons can there be? You know what I mean? Like me self-reflecting and like in certain shits. And I'm like, why don't I go hard? Like, I'll go harder for somebody else's shit than I would for my shit. I'm
guilty of that,
And then I turn and be like, yeah, but my shit's dope.
Your shit is dope. I'm telling you, like, when I would see your stickers, I'd be like, what is this?
What is
but
this?
I see it and it's dope. And it's like, but what is it?
Exactly.
And it's just like, we're having this conversation, and I'm grateful that we're having this conversation because it's like I said to Renee, I was like, I know this guy 10 years. Who is this dude? I don't know anything about him. I said, Renee, what should I ask him? Give me 3 questions to ask him. And Renee goes, ask him anything you want. That's it. He didn't give me no questions. He was just like, if you can, record a little bit of video so I can just see some of it. So at some point, I guess you got to record some video. This probably would be a good time. But Stay Sane, the same formats. Like if you want to do interviews, if you want to do photography, it all can happen under you. And that confidence comes with I'm sure you wasn't super dope at chess in the beginning, and then you got super dope over time.
I just kept doing it.
It's the same thing. So it's like, I can totally build with you and tell you everything I know, because at the end of the day, like, I personally feel like the revolution is information. So like, if you're asking me a question like, Amon, what mics are these? I'm like, that's proprietary information. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, if you winning, I'm winning.
Yeah,
so like,
100%,
I tell you everything.
100%.
I tell you everything. So like,
No,
I've asked. Like, one time I was making ice pops, and this guy was also making. I was like, "Yo, where'd you get your molds?" And he was like, "That's proprietary information." And he had like, he was from Philly. He had a beard. He was righteous. I was like, "So you won't tell me?" And I'm clearly not competing with you. I'm in New York. I just want to know where you got your molds. He was like, "Can't tell you that." And I was like, "That's why we will always be where we are."
Yep.
Because just something that damn simple, you can't even open up the door for me. But I digress.
Yep.
As you can see, that was over 5 years ago. I'm still salty.
Yeah, you still talking about that shit. It's like, this
But
if I ever see that motherfucker.
Yeah. But for me, it's just like, well, I didn't like that shit. But if someone ever asks me, sometimes people say, "Can you talk to my kids?" I'm like, yeah, I talk to their kids or whatever, and I just tell them the good, the bad, and the ugly of what it means to make a living as a creative. But I think I've made a good living because I'm super giving with the information of like, here's how you do this, here's how you do that, or here's this piece of gear or this tripod, don't do that, or whatever, because I feel like you're gonna, same with the clothes, you're gonna freak it way better in your voice than I could ever freak it trying to be you. I'm gonna freak it in my voice because I'm gonna do it my way. And so with the state saying, man, I would just keep going. Like,
just keep going with it. Yeah, no, 100%. I definitely dig you on that. I appreciate that as well.
But if you brought that same hustler's approach, that same energy, that same aggression, that like get down and lay down type shit, that to whatever it is, because like mad people, and there's people who want to sit in a room and be interviewed by specifically you to ask the questions that I would never even think to ask. So like, it's something that I think would be good for society, but also good for your spirit.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it'd be very great for my spirit. I was gonna say something about that too. So it's like self-confidence and like the spirit and the passion of things.
Well, I think a lot of times when you're creating stuff, I'll be honest with you, sometimes my confidence level, I'll look at something, I'm like, this is shit. And then like I'll come back like 6 weeks later and I'm like, why did I think this was shit? This is not bad.
Okay.
It's pretty good. And then I'm realizing like, it's really good. That happens quite a bit, but like in the moment I'm like, nobody gives a fuck about this. And then after a while you just gotta be like, let's just put it to the wild and see what happens. Yeah, because you just never know. That Jay-Z shit of like, streets is watching. You never know who the hell is paying attention. Even though I've been doing this for like, I don't know, 7 years or so, I reached out to Sophie Bramley. She's like a phenomenal hip-hop photographer from like the 80s. She captured like a good amount of like those early breakdancing shots. And
nice.
Fat Fire Freddy and
nice.
DXT and all that and LES. So like, I reached out and was like, hey, I would love to have you as a guest. I started explaining what New York Set was, and she was like, I know what New York Set is. And I was like, holy shit. And she's in Paris.
Nice.
So you just never know. And she's not, like, no one's there. But it's like when you talk to people and they're like, I know what that is. I'm like, still surprised. Because no one's ever like, oh my God, it's a motherfucker from New York. Nope, that's not happening. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get free vanilla in my coffee for that shit. So,
thanks.
But let's start walking.
Okay,
we'll head back and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, that's definitely the key though, is to keep going. To keep going.
I mean, and just know that like in the beginning, just like shooting a free throw, if you want to get good at shooting free throws, you just got to just keep shooting them in rapid succession. Do 100. Don't just shoot 3 in a day and then be like, why am I not getting so good? Right. I've gotten better at conversing with people over the years because it's just, you listen to your previous interviews like a practice tape, and you're like, damn, I should have like let that person finish that statement, or I shouldn't have interrupted there, or maybe I should have did more research about this, or whatever, you know. So, but again, I'm a resource that, of course, you could always reach out and say, yo.
I appreciate that, man. Fucking appreciate that. This fucking floor, though.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. It looks like it's made of horse shit. It looks really weird. I've never seen. This is like mashed up grass or moss.
Like cardboard or something. This feels like.
And we're seeing like squirrels and rats. I've seen at least 2 rats, big ass rats,
I think I seen a squirrel in a rat fight.
You did?
It seemed like
You saw like a pigeon refereeing?
Yeah.
Having like the real New York moment.
Yeah,
Oh, this
bro,
guy just want a pretzel.
Fucking pretzel.
Oh shit, look
You
at
ever
this.
seen a baby pigeon?
Only online, never in real life.
Never in real life.
I've never seen this cliff. What is this?
Oh yeah, it's pretty sexy.
Hey, all right, how are you? That's
Hey.
crazy. I've never seen you.
Oh, your name's Cliff.
I thought you were talking about.
Your name was Cliff? I've never seen this like little watering hole. That's incredible.
Yeah,
It's my first time here.
Wow. I like your hat.
Thank you.
That's
From
what's up.
Australia.
Oh yeah?
Nice.
Beautiful.
You should stop over and when you leave here in Nordstrom's downstairs.
Yeah.
Renee Mantilla, he has some fedora hats you'll probably get a kick out of.
Yeah, agreed. And they're all handmade one-on-ones.
Yeah.
What is it called?
It's at Nordstrom's.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's downstairs Nordstrom's. His name's the Renee Mantilla.
And he's there, like downstairs. He's not
Yeah,
one of
he
those
did
guys
me
that's
say.
like, yo, here's my hats. He's like right there. You'll be
He's
talking to the
designer
guy,
himself, yeah.
the artist.
Are you from here?
Uh-huh. Yeah, are you from here?
Honduras.
Honduras.
Yeah, I live in Australia.
Oh,
Okay.
My first
Is
trip
he in
to-
Ecuador?
Ecuador, yeah.
Ecuador. He's in
Yeah,
Ecuador.
oh, he makes all the hats in Ecuador.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But you live in Australia?
I live in Australia, yeah.
Dope.
Been to Australia?
Not yet.
Good place to visit, yeah.
It's a good place to visit. I heard there's like a lot of like,
Live if you can move there, yeah.
I heard there's like a lot of things that'll kill you, like insects and snakes and shit like that.
But they carry no guns, though.
Ah.
Yeah, and I heard their workforce, like they
Yeah.
get like a paid, what do you get, paid month to like a vacation or some shit?
You
Like
get a
the-
month paid vacation
or
in
like,
Australia?
you know?
Are you on that? Are you on holiday right now?
Makes you went for work. I work for a Canadian company.
Okay,
I was
gotcha.
I was in Calgary and Seattle, and then I took 2 weeks off to see family. Yeah, if you got a permanent job, by law you get 4 weeks.
4 weeks.
And you can take whole.
By
usually
law.
people can take the whole 4 weeks off.
Yeah.
Straight up, just
Straight up for 2 weeks. They can't tell you can't take all your holidays.
And they
'Cause
pay
here
you.
the-
Now, and the other thing is you accumulate them, right?
Yep.
So if you don't take them this year, you go. another
2 months next
Oh,
year.
for real? So you can work at a job for like 12 years and be like, I got the whole year off.
You
Basically.
can. It might be
Okay.
difficult for
Yeah. Like not miss one day in 12 years.
You gonna come back, your employer's gonna be like, hey, buddy.
Right.
Long service leave, which you start accumulating after 5 years, I think.
Wow.
But usually, when you get 10 years, you nearly have 10 weeks
Okay, wow.
paid leave. And some people take the 10
Yeah,
weeks.
I would travel all over the place.
Yeah, that's what some people do. They go and they go and travel for several months or
Yeah.
whatever. Because it's by law. You get
And it's
long-
paid. That's crazy. Sain, what oil are you wearing? Because this really nostalgic. Let me guess. Is it Egyptian musk?
Yup. Wow. Soon to be. Take it
you
easy,
later.
mate. Take it easy, Cliff.
That's my favorite oil.
It's great, right?
It's my favorite
So
oil.
I'm in a jacket, right? Because these dudes have been selling gypsum musk, no branding, no bottle, no nothing.
Right.
And I'm gonna turn it into like, I'm gonna add a little something, I don't know what, but
Yeah.
to make it just a spray
Yeah,
and just to stay sane little.
that'd be dope.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it's so crazy because it's also so common. Like, I went to Gold Bar last week, Thursday, and the door guy, Owen, I haven't seen him, whatever, 6 years or whatever. And I was saying, what's up, man? Shook his hand. He's like, oh, what's that? You wearing Egyptian musk?
Yep.
It's like, yup.
Classic.
Got some for the car for you. Yeah, it's classic, right?
Yeah, I went during the winter. Well, no. Yeah, I guess in the spring, whatever, beginning of the year. I went back to Jamaica Ave and got me a nice bottle of fucking Egyptian musk.
Yeah.
But the dope shit is, this guy didn't cut it at all. So I got pure.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, like when you flip it and you see the bubble move mega slow.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, he has no, and he charged me like $10. It was nothing. I was like, and I just smell it because I was like, sometimes I want to revisit '93. And I just,
93, yeah.
because I used to wear, I don't wear fragrance these days as much as I used to, but like, I always loved the way Egyptian, because my
Yeah.
pops would, he would sell oil, and he would have that Blue Nile, a whole bunch, just Jupe,
Blue Nile,
and whatever
Jupe,
else.
all that shit.
Yeah.
I think we're this way.
So yeah, you gonna make that oil?
Yeah. So I'm gonna make it into like just a little
Like a spray?
Yeah, and slap my fucking name on it.
That'd be dope.
Be like, yo, man, like, I don't know, what is it? I didn't know the name of it should be. Like, should I give it like a little French name or whatever?
Nope.
I
feel like you should just go all the way stay
all the way
sane.
stay sane, right?
Yeah.
Just keep it across the board. Like,
Yeah.
stay sane.
And I
Everything
mean,
you
like,
do-
if someone, like, asks you and you have that conversation, but, like, really, I mean, it just really would just be getting the bottles and the oils. And, I mean, a lot of times, especially on Jamaica Ave or Harlem or wherever you are, when you go buy the oils, like you said, it's just white label. Like,
It's
they're just
white
selling
label.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, just move the oil.
Yeah.
They could care less how you move it. Just
They
move
don't care at all.
Yeah.
And then, I like to add my embellishment to it. So
Of
it's like,
course.
turn it into a spray.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's one thing I know they don't have, period.
No.
You'll never go to one of them oil stands
I
and they'd be
know.
like, oh, I got this Egyptian oil spray.
Nah.
Like, nah, nigga.
Remember the, well, I'm sure they still exist, but I used to have chew sticks all the time.
The
I can't-
juice, the
Can't find
mist
them.
wax.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the root, the
Yeah,
licorice root.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see them anymore. But again, I'm not on Jamaica Ave like that these days. But
Yeah.
they used to be out there wherever you would walk. But everything is changing.
Everything is changing, man.
I have no idea where we are. I know we just got to get back to the notion. I got to get my my bag. But
Well, we are that way.
okay, good, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just up towards the buildings. We'll be good. Essex House.
So what are you
Who
listening
is
to these
smoking this
days?
cigarette? Like, and I smoke cigarettes, but this is bothering me.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's like,
How long have you smoked cigarettes?
man, I had my first cigarette in second grade.
Yeet.
Yeah, and then I
Second
stopped.
grade?
Second grade, man. And then obviously I didn't keep smoking. Then
What were you smoking in second grade? Was it Newport?
Lucky Strike.
A Lucky Strike.
A
Damn.
Lucky Strike. I
You
had
was
Lucky
smoking
Strike
like
and
in a
a
black
cigar.
and white cartoon.
Yo, real life shit, right?
Yeah, like you were in a World War II propaganda cartoon in
Yeah.
the second grade smoking
Right.
a Lucky Strike.
Fucking Lucky Strike.
How y'all doing?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But my grandparents used to smoke. And they used to smoke.
Oh, my
heavy.
grandparents used to smoke like
Heavy.
till the day they died. Like even when my grandmother, she went to assisted living, and we were like, Grandma, you don't smoke? She was like, sure I don't. And she picked up a crayon, and she was just like, puffing on the crayon. I was like, yeah, that shit don't go.
Crayon.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
both
man.
I would say all my grandparents smoked except for my grandmother on my father's side, but the
Wow.
other three, they smoked like chimneys. I guess
Yeah.
that was the time. you
That
know?
was the time. That was the thing. And I couldn't stand the smell, yo. Oh my gosh, I used to have a fucking fit every morning. I would wake up, you guys are fucking smoking and shit. Like, oh, she used to bug the shit out of me.
Wow.
And then in high school, it just stinks. It smells. It
Yeah.
even still smells to me like today. And I'm a smoker.
Right.
But it's like, I'm addicted now. So
Right.
it's a totally different story.
No, I
But-
understand. addiction. I used to smoke for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And I used to smoke Newports, and my first smoke was like at prom in high school or whatever. Like, hey man, look how cool I look. The next thing you know, I'm a fucking smoker.
Yeah.
And then
In high school, I'd be riding, we'd be ditching class or whatever, riding around fucking cars, and other people would be smoking, right?
Yeah.
And the shit stinks so bad, I'd just be like, yo, give me a fucking cigarette. So I can smoke and not smell your guys' shit.
Right.
And next thing you know, I'm a fucking smoker now.
Damn.
It's like, you got me.
You got me.
But that was my idiotic
And
ass.
the thing is, before I stopped, it's been over a decade since I had a cigarette. But when I was deep into it, I loved it. Like I
Yeah.
really enjoyed what it was.
Yeah.
Like I would talk to certain friends. It didn't take much, stressed out, happy, whatever. I'm having a
I
cigarette.
don't know what this guy's doing.
So when I finally people would want to give me advice, I'm like, don't give me advice if you never smoked. Because you don't
You don't
understand what this like you're just making me want a cigarette
Yeah.
because you don't know what you're talking
You
about.
don't
Like
know.
you're asking me like, why don't you just stop? Like if it
Yeah.
was that easy, I would. But I'm addicted, to this chemical. Like it's a
Right.
real
Right.
chemical.
Right.
So I get it.
Yeah. I quit every night. I quit last night.
You did?
Yeah.
And then you started again today?
I'm just saying, I haven't had one yet.
Oh, so you good?
No, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
So you quit?
Till fucking
Yeah.
gets dark or something.
Till you
I
get
quit.
that trigger.
I've been quitting every fucking day for the once, a little before my son was born, I stopped, maybe like a day or two.
Yeah.
I stopped for a good while, and then once we separated, I was like, well, back on this smoking train.
Wow.
You know,
You know how I stopped? I got those little mints and shit.
Yeah.
I put them in my Newport box. And so whenever I wanted a cigarette, I just pull out a mint, and then I would just like let it dissolve. I wouldn't chew on it. And then it kind of would hold me down nicotine-wise.
Yeah.
And then whenever I wanted a cigarette, I just keep doing it. After a while, I didn't want no mints and I didn't want no cigarettes.
Yeah.
But I would still dream. Like I would have these phenomenal dreams about me smoking cigarettes again. And I'd be like, for like at least the first 3 or 4 years, I was still salivating, like still wanting a cigarette,
Yeah.
you know. But, you know,
That's
eventually
good
it all kind of went away, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna stop. But you know.
I got my OG, I spoke to her yesterday, she's like 73.
Mm-hmm.
She still smokes. She told her doctor, she was like, I'll listen to whatever you say, but don't talk to me about smoking.
Wow.
I guess she's fully, but again, she's 73 or whatever, you know. She's straight up like Bed-Stuy, do or die.
Yeah.
Old school. But man, yeah.
I like it. Bed-Stuy, do or die.
Who's been like a big influence on you in a, negative or positive way?
It's just genetic.
Okay.
Literally.
Wow.
I was thinking about that the other day too. I was like, I didn't have those, and like I didn't inspire to be like these athletes or anything. Like growing up, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, I might have said it a couple times like on the court, but just like fucking off because I thought it was funny that niggas did this shit. And they'd be like, oh, Kobe.
Yeah, okay.
I did it to make fun of people.
How
Really,
tall
like,
are you?
6'4".
So you were playing basketball heavy?
Yeah. I ball. I like playing football better though.
Okay.
Yeah, but so like, I never aspired to be like those people. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's nobody I looked up to or like, oh man, I really admire this guy.
Right.
None of that shit, yo. And it's mad weird because I didn't realize until, I don't know when I realized it. It's like, oh no, yo, but we need niggas to look up to.
Yeah.
Because that's who you learn from. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I don't have to learn from my mistakes. I can
Gotcha.
learn from this person's mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, all right, who's older than me or what's up? You know, and I would ask, like when I meet older people, I would ask them fucking weird, deep questions and shit. And I think it kind of weirded them out because they're like, my man.
Like what? Like what?
Oh man, I was trying to think of one when I was thinking. I remember I asked Shaka something. You know Shaka, right?
I see him. I'm sure I know Shaka.
Yeah, he used to work with Nietzsche and all those brands or whatever back in the day. But anywho, I remember I had asked him some shit, but he's Muslim and he had gave me like this deep spiritual answer, and I was like, all right, yeah, cool, but like, damn, what was it?
Oh, okay. What's
the
question?
I'm trying to remember. Ah man, I can't remember. Too many drugs.
Yeah, gotcha.
Damn it. I'm gonna send it to you. And I think I'm gonna call him and ask him actually. But yeah, and he gave me this, and I was like, yeah, but no, like you. I remember saying just like, yeah, but you. Like if you, I don't know.
Don't force it.
Yeah, I can't force that shit.
Speaking of drugs, you ever took mushrooms?
Yeah, mushrooms.
What's that
mushrooms
like?
are dope. I've always learned something. Every time.
Do you take a lot or a little bit?
Nah, I do like maybe 2 grams or something like that.
Okay.
Like,
Is that a lot or a little bit?
Nah, that's a little bit kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 grams was like my max, and then like micro dosing and stuff. But like I've taken acid. I like acid way better than mushrooms.
What's the difference? Because I remember I was with Alex once, and he had somebody, and we were talking about whatever the hell we were talking about in the middle of, let's say we were talking about food. He was like, you should drop acid. I said, what are you talking about? He was like, I don't know, just talking to you. I just feel like you should do acid. And I was like, all right,
yeah.
I haven't yet.
Acid
I guess, whatever, but like.
It's like, you know, you have your visual hallucination and, you know, your body high and everything. And that's it. It's not really like a mind stimulator or anything.
Okay.
Like shrooms, you're going to tap in It's gonna ask you some shit about yourself.
Yeah.
You're gonna ask some shit about some other shit. You're gonna, you know what I mean? Like
So
you're gonna
what
go,
did
you're
shrooms
going
happen?
somewhere.
Like, what did you learn from shrooms? Like, what's one thing? I
Nah,
gotta
I can't-
ask you. Oh, that's
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember. I just always remember coming back off the high,
Yeah.
knowing that I learned something.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying I learned like the whatever, or I just had like I learned a different perception or way of looking at things, or
Yeah.
you know, shit like that. Like, you know, so it's always at least minimal, you know. But there's people that are fucking.
That happened to me once over COVID. I guess like the end of like the lockdown or whatever. I was experimenting with like people were, you know, you got cannabis. So I had all this bud or whatever, and I was making these tinctures. And so I had some like CBD, whatever, THC tincture that I made from scratch. And so you're only supposed to take like 2 or 3 drops and it just take you to a cool place.
Yeah.
So I ended up one day taking a whole shot glass full. I guess I was feeling confident that day. I went on this vision quest.
Yeah.
And I got all these questions answered.
Yeah.
And I haven't done cannabis of any kind since that
Wow.
last walk. That was
Yeah.
like a year ago.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, whatever that time was, I was like, I know what I need to do. And it was just like, and the main thing for me was like a lot of the art that I do,
Yeah.
I was like, this cannabis is making me too conceptual. I need to be very definitive. That was the main thing that I learned from that trip, that I was like, okay, I got to make some very definitive answers coming up in this next transition of my life.
I like that.
So I kind of got to go straight edge when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And I don't need to be philosophical. I don't need to be poetic.
Yeah.
I don't need to be conceptual. I just
Yeah.
need to go, it needs to be yes or no.
No.
It needs to be definitive answers.
Yeah. I like that.
And so since then, I've made so much progress. I mean, like real progress in projects that have yet to be released. That I was like, man, that trip was worth it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I wasn't paranoid or anything. It was just cannabis. But I was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, wow, I am twisted. And here's the funny thing. At the peak of the high, like at the peak of it, because I'm basically doing edibles, my phone rings. And guess who it is? It's my father. And this little voice is like, don't pick it up. And then another voice is like, pick it up.
Yeah, pick it up. See what happens. See what happens.
I'm on FaceTime with my pops, like just twisted. Like, and I'm like, what up, Pop? He looked at me, he was like, okay. And he just started like talking all kinds of like crazy, deep shit. That's what seemed deep to me at the time. I was like, yo, Pop, you're crazy. I said, Pop, hold on. So I grabbed the phone, I hooked it up to the mixer, and I just started recording the conversation.
Yeah, nice.
And I recorded this whole conversation with my pops on that vision quest.
Yeah.
And I think at one point I started crying in the episode. Like, I was so twisted. And so I don't have the heart. Like, I ended up, like, he hung up, like, when I sobered up. Like, I was, like, off my trip, I guess. And I was like, damn. So I have the file. I have not listened to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what I said. I don't know. I just know it felt good. I got all these answers out of it.
Yeah,
so
nice.
it's not shrooms or anything, but like,
but
that
you're
was a lot
close.
of
But
cannabis.
that's definitely the kind of like the same realm that you're gonna have. But like now, so if you take shrooms, and you take a good little amount, talk to RG about it, or somebody that takes. RG takes like 12 grams. That's like Superman dosages.
Nat was telling me that he like creates like safe spaces for people to have those experiences.
Yeah, kind of, not really.
Oh, okay.
You know, RG just got properties, so it's just like.
It sounds like that was marketed. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But it's also like, like we're good energy, so
Yes,
it
okay,
is, safe space.
Like
He's
if I
not
ever
creating a
was
safe
gonna
space.
do like a first time because I don't want nobody messing with me, like
Yeah.
joking around, like fucking with you while you twisted like that.
Exactly.
Like, so
Yeah.
I would want to be like around like your kind of energy or
Yeah.
RG's energy or whatever.
Oh no, I'm gonna fuck with you though.
No, see,
So
that's
you don't
what
want
I'm
to be
saying.
with me.
I don't want to
like,
be around
so
you.
it's like
Good.
if you're going to if you're on a journey,
Yeah.
then it's like, yo, you need
Right.
RG and them people like that.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
if I'm
it's
around
like,
you,
yeah, if
don't-
you're like, yo, Sain, let me do some fucking shrooms and just like let's have some fun or see
Right.
what happens.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like,
So basically,
Yeah.
hard pass.
Yeah.
Doing shrooms with Sain.
Yeah,
Got
don't
it.
do it, don't do it. Unless we're doing fun, like the journey, but it's always gonna be a sort of a journey.
Yeah.
So that's the great part.
Yo, Sain, we're about to conclude this walk.
Yes.
So like, give me some like wrap it up. What's it like? What, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Not really, man. I just want to thank you for helping me stay sane.
Oh, man.
And I'm hoping that I could rub off a little stay sane on you. And,
you have.
This
has been, even though we're like, I guess, doing an interview or a conversation, I don't know what to call this shit, but it's a two-way street. So I'm picking up on your energy, like, there's no way to fake it. You know, I can't be fake around you. You can't be fake around me. Like, it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work. We're not gonna get that far.
No,
we'll be like,
I think I'm good here.
Yeah.
This is my stop. I'm getting off. And so I've always appreciated her. Like, we're always like right there with it. So
definitely, man.
No, but you have rubbed off on me, and I always appreciated that. Like,
100% appreciate it. Yeah. I want to do, I think that's my goal. Oh, I was gonna say earlier too. I felt like that was because my wife, she used to tell me things like, if you're doing the right thing or whatever, if you're doing it for, like, if you're doing things for other people. And it's like, that's always been kind of like my business model in a sense, has been like, listen, all of these people that have creative ideas or businesses, X and Y and Z, it's like, cool, I can help your idea go much more, I put more energy into other people's ideas than I do my own shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like once I met her and she was telling me these things, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's why I do that thing, because I was doing God's work. Oh.
God's work.
God's work, But like, for real, it's like, nah, I definitely have to, like you were just saying, like, not conceptual things, but be definitive into inward. Versus me being outward.
Yes.
So.
And it's your time. Like you said, you've been going hard for everybody, so it's like time to go hard for Sain. Like, time for you to stay sane.
Exactly.
And here's the cool thing.
Those are dope-ass Converse. Those aren't Converse, are they? Yeah, they are.
Yeah. You've been going so hard for so many people. They're looking to somehow at least boomerang the energy back to what you're working on.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's one of those things now shit too. He was like, well, he didn't say that, but he was like, you have to put yourself out there, Sain. Like, nobody knows that you can do marketing for a boutique business. He's like, you don't put yourself out, like, nobody knows what the fuck you're doing. And I was like, yeah, you're right, whatever.
You are very, like I said, I've known you 10 years. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
What is this guy?
I mean, we've had all kinds of conversations. We've been in all types of situations, but still I'm like, I don't really know what's the deal. And even now, we were talking for like 2 hours, and I'm what exactly do you do? You ain't got no job, Tommy.
You ain't got no job, Tommy. Exactly.
What the fuck?
Exactly.
And I think that's great. Like, that whole, being mysterious without even trying to be mysterious, because you're not doing it. You're just,
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not saying you, like, rock me to sleep.
There's more interesting things to be about, you know? I guess.
Agreed.
Yeah, I love it, man.
So let's wrap it up.
That's it?
That's it. We out.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, how you doing?
Welcome back.
Thank you.